Today we're making fermented plant juice for healthy plants. Good morning. This morning I went out before sunrise to get some plants. I've cut some sweet potatoes and some comfrey, and I'm going to mix it together and make some fermented plant juice to feed my vegetable plants. So I will take some of the plant and put it in this bucket. Then I'm going to layer it with brown sugar. And it's important to gather the plants before sunrise when the moisture is good in the plants. And it's important to use the correct sugar. Now I think that's enough in this bucket. And I'm going to get a paper and cover the top of it and let that sit for about 2 hours. Well, it's morning and Larry and I have already been out and fed the chickens and the cows and the pigs. And back up here, and I have my fermented plant juice that's been sitting in this bucket for about 8 days. So I'm going to uncover it this morning and strain the juice off, and then I'll have the fermented plant juice to use. I discovered Korean natural farming last fall, and since then I have made about 3 batches of the fermented plant juice. I think this is the 3rd one. So I'm by no means an expert, but it's something I'm trying out, and so far it seems to work very well for me. So I'll start by taking this cover off of the bucket. So you can see in the bucket what it looks like now. When I filled it, the bucket was about 3/4 full of the plant material. So you can see how much it has settled down over about a week. And while I'm working with the plant juice, Larry is feeding his hummingbirds. So first I'm going to use this strainer and pour it into this bucket because it's easier to pour into a wide bucket, and then I'll put it in jars for storage. I have a couple of late tomato plants I planted for late tomatoes, and I think I'll take this plant material that's left and spread that around those, and I think it will help ferment that, fertilize that. Okay, now I have 2 quarts of fermented plant juice, and that will go a long way in the garden. You use it at a dilution rate of 1 to 1,000, 1 part fermented plant juice per 1,000 parts of water for foliar spray, which that equals about a half a tablespoon for 2 gallons of water. And for using it in the soil, you use a dilution rate of 1 part plant juice to 500 parts water. So that's about a rate of 1 tablespoon per 2 gallons of water. Now this plant juice has a very nice fermented smell. Does not smell rotted or bad in any way. I have labeled both the jars of fermented plant juice, and now I will put it in our refrigerator for storage, and it should keep into next year to use some for next year's gardening season.